Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays. My name's Amy Holmwood, and I am coming to you from Park City, Utah. We are out in the snow, and you can see, I wanted to make sure you guys could see the beauty of being in the mountains and having a laptop business and a global business. And that's really what I want to talk to you all about today. We represent, many of us on this call today represent a company called LifeVantage. There will be many of you who will be watching a recorded version of this. And we welcome you to learn about this information, and hopefully it will impact you in some way. Just getting information and learning is something that I'm very passionate about, being a part of educating and being part of a community of lifelong learners. And you know, it's just at 56 years old, I feel like I'm just getting going. My health is incredible. I have been blessed with a beautiful family, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this bustling and community that is going to change really the way people age, frankly, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that. It's a company called LifeVantage, and we're on the forefront of nutrigenomics and biohacking, which are two words I'm going to be talking to you guys about. Before I go into that, I want to share with you what is going on in the medical community and also in the area of exponential growth, where we're actually looking at how technology is changing the way everybody does business. And it's also going to change the way that we age because of how the genomic research in the area of how we can look at the human body and help it perform better. And actually, there's so many things going on. I just came back from a conference called the A4M Congress on Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. And I'm really passionate about that organization. And I know a lot of LifeVantage physicians have gone through that board certification. So I want to just create a mindset today looking at where opportunities are, and certainly where technology and business have converged, have made opportunities. And you've seen some of these companies, I'm going to talk about them today, where we're seizing an opportunity. It has to be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. And also, you have to know where you're going in order to be able to get there. So no wind favors him who has no destined port. You have to know where you're going and have that vision in order to capitalize on these kinds of opportunities. You have to be able to see them before they actually happen. And so with LifeVantage, we have been blessed with a business that has been operating that way with a product line that I'm going to talk to you guys about that isn't really being fully acknowledged yet by society as a whole, because the information hasn't disseminated out to everybody. And a lot of people reject this when they hear it for the first time. I had a dinner the other night here with some neighbors out here in Park City, and one of the guys is a really smart lawyer, and he said, "Oh, this is one of those pyramid schemes that you're in one of those things." And I'm like, really? You know, he's really a smart guy. And I just laughed. I said, yeah, I am. I'm in one of those schemes. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that. And, you know, just love on people and just laugh. Don't get upset if people say things that are ignorant. It's not because they don't know. And I didn't know any of this either. But being a part of a company that has part of exponential growth, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about, is the new way that we're going to see businesses develop. And we've seen them in the last 10 years that we're from nothing to something huge. And it's because of the way that human development has evolved over the last 150,000 years. It's been linear. There were little communities around. People weren't talking to each other. Information was not disseminating. And today we have an exponential human development experience where all of us are connected to each other. And it's going to be faster and faster. And we have to understand that there are businesses that are capitalizing on that. And then there are businesses that aren't. And I just looked at some of the headlines from 2017 where we're really in retail. And this is a perfect time to talk about it because of Christmas and Hanukkah and the holidays that people celebrate. They're buying everything online. And as a result of that, companies in retail are going out of business right and left. And you have to think about where you are in your career and in the industry that you're in, and ask yourself, how long is that really going to exist? And are you going to become obsolete? And if you are, you need to think about another way of doing business, because it's going to be a bloodbath out there. There's going to be companies going out of business right and left like you couldn't even imagine. And especially in like natural resources and like oil and things like that. So where, you know, solar and all these different technologies are really, because of the way technology connects with data and stuff like that, it's just going to change so many things. So I want you guys to consider that there's a different way to do business. Like I was just talking to Eric before we started this webinar today about how I can work in Park City, Utah with my laptop and my phone. I couldn't do that in my insurance business. It wasn't like that. I had to physically show up and see people. And we still need to do that, but we can do so much more by just connecting with each other. And you're seeing this new economy that we're all watching explode. We're a part of that in LifeVantage. And so I wanted to share with you how building networks can be a very powerful thing for an individual entrepreneur. And, you know, like I said, there are businesses that are going completely out of business. You know, there's the taxi business, bookstores, cell phone, you know, long distance versus things like what we're doing right now with Zoom, hotels. You guys, this is only going to happen more quickly in the future because of how technology is going to speed up. And I'm going to talk about that because it affects our business and the way we can do business and how fast you can become a billion-dollar company. That LifeVantage is only at 200 million. And because we're only in 10 countries right now, I'm going to talk about how everything is called, it's dematerialization, which isn't a bad thing. We used to have all this stuff and now it's all on this. If within 10 years, if you can't run your whole business, I don't care what industry you're in, from a phone like this, you're going to be obsolete. And this is going to be so much more powerful 10 years from now than it is right now. So we're in a social commerce business. We are in the business of connecting through networks of customers and networks of distributors. And that's what those other companies do too. You know, Airbnb connected entrepreneurs from their homes to be able to have them through technology rent out their rooms and their house on a phone. Uber did the same thing. You know, I don't have to call anymore. I just click on here and an entrepreneur shows up at my door that needs money because we're not in an industrial business anymore. That's over. We are now in the new economy. So we've got people making money that way. That's what we're doing at LifeVantage. We're entrepreneurs sharing information that we have to connect people to some products that they may or may not be interested in. We're just all users using these things, and we're going to exponentially grow our networks by sharing information, which Marie just talked about. Amy, you have no idea in the world what's going on with this business because we've touched thousands and thousands of lives. And that's a company called LifeVantage. We're one of very few publicly traded direct-to-consumer, direct sales companies. And I'm really proud to be a part of this company. I didn't know anything about it when I got this information 5 years ago. We're now a $200 million company. When I got involved, we were doing just a little over 100 million. Again, that exponential growth, we're going to see an explosion in this company and a number of other companies that are getting on board with the area of nutrigenomics, genetics, and biohacking. And we actually have the only supplement that's proven to extend life, median lifespan in a mouse. So, you know, that might not mean anything to a lot of people, but it means a lot to me. I've always been interested in life extension. Not everybody is. I'm interested in health extension, having a healthier life. My father died at my age, exactly 56 years old. I've had two brothers that have died in horrific accidents. I've had cancer in my family, you know, all alcoholism. I mean, the list goes on. And I have a 17-year-old son and I'm 56 years old. So I kind of like to be around to see my grandchildren. So when I heard about LifeVantage and I understood the science of this, I really became very passionate about this. And I changed my whole business around to be a part of this, to not be in financial services anymore. So just consider there's other people out there who are looking at the future and going, wow, I think my business is going to change a lot. And I'd like to be able to get on board with something that's going to be part of the exponential growth and hyper-connected world. And there's going to be an explosion of this way more than we already know right now because of all the satellites that are going to be launched that are so much more than we already have. That's connecting the whole world together to be able to use these phones to do business. So when you look at the global population of internet users, right now you can see the blue is the population and the green is people that are on the internet right now. Within 4 years, potentially 5 years, the entire population can be because of all the satellites. So you know what that means for business? We can now touch billions of people with this information. And right now, LifeVantage is only in 10 countries. This is a snap screenshot from our website. It just shows, if you just drag down and find out what country is this company operating in, there it is right there. So we are, we're part of creating, consuming, inventing, discovering all these people and what their great brains are to be able to bring a community together of more people that are interested in this health and wellness movement. And I just want to give you, because I love math and algorithms and things like that. this Moore's Law concept where technology is doubling every 2 years. What that means, normal people have businesses like this. You go out and you sell an insurance policy, you get paid a commission. That's what I was doing. Now, fortunately for me, every year when somebody pays their premium, I still get a check for that. So I was able to retire at age 50 because 25 years of my life, I committed to a business that was linear. It was I go see every year, I see somebody, I get a check the first year, but then I get a little bit of what's called a renewal every year, and it lasts for 10 years. But I wasn't getting paid off of anybody else's business. It was just my own. So it was just like you work your way up, you take paces. Now here's an exponential 30 steps where we're actually doubling. And this is what LifeVantage offers in terms of the way we build our businesses, because we're building networks that we get to monetize. We're getting paid off of other people's efforts, and that's what this looks like in 30 steps. So just imagine that now you're not working by yourself. You're actually part of a global team of people. And we're at a place right now where the trends are still, I talked about 150,000 years of human development, and now you've got the next 150,000. We're at this disruptive space where there's still some linear, there's people that are linear, and then there's the people that are going to go with the exponential. We're the exponential people. We're not doing, so there's a space there called a disruptor. That's where we are in two different areas. One is as an online business owner, and two is in the type of products that we're offering are also disrupting because they're capitalizing on taking an old model and saying that's not going to work anymore. Antioxidants and supplements, the way you knew them, are not going to be the same as the ones in the future. And the future is now with LifeVantage. We're one of the companies out there that actually has some science. I think we're actually the only one, frankly, that has science that proves that we change gene expression by taking one of our products, Protandim Nerve2 activation. So we're radically going to change the supplement industry, which right now is 30 billion a year. It doesn't sound like that much. That's the vitamins, the Centrum one a day, all that kind of stuff that people, Prevagen, these new supplements that they're coming out with. We're going to disrupt that with the information. And by the way, Prevagen doesn't even have any research. I went on to PubMed to look it up because somebody asked me the other day. It doesn't. So people are buying stuff that has no research. We have 23 peer-reviewed studies. So this just shows you how companies, Netflix versus Blockbuster. Netflix wasn't even a threat to Blockbuster. It wasn't even on their radar that it was something that they should be worried about. And look what happened once Netflix got in, and then the $70 billion of value today over 7 years. And Netflix, I think there was the last store closed like a week ago. So you guys, this is where the action is. And so is in this technology movement and working this way. So we're connecting people. In the next 10 years, 10 million new millionaires are going to be made. And the majority of them are going to be in the health and wellness space. That is according to Paul Zane-Pilzer, a world-renowned economist, to 2 different presidents. Great book called The Wellness Revolution. I definitely encourage you guys to read that. But because of the online social commerce, this makes the health and wellness space growing even faster because of how data and all of the types of information on our health is going to be able to be aggregated into using artificial intelligence to figure out diagnosis faster than doctor who works 20 hours a day, doesn't get enough sleep, didn't take a nutrition class. And now we have artificial intelligence that's going to access all our data and our genomics and things like that and tell us what's wrong with us. This is the future of medicine too. So doctors out there, you guys want to think about how you're going to monetize your business, because a lot of this is going to be done online. Radiology people, hey, I might have a artificial intelligence comparing 1 billion different brain images when I have a concussion versus one doctor sitting in someone's house, somewhere working from their home, which is what most radiologists do now. So just think about the way that's going to change, and it's already happening. We've seen it in the last year or two, all the different magazine covers, every single one of them, Smithsonian, National Geographic, Time, all of them have been featuring longevity and how the human genome is changing, the Human Genome Project, and also the way that we can take data and actually aggregate it and look at our health of the world population, which I just showed you. Within 5 years, we're going to have all the data. So anybody that goes to a doctor in the world, a lot of people still won't, but you know, there's going to be a lot more people that their data is going to be available. And nutrigenomics, where we can look at how nutrition and dietary components can change the expression of your genes, is going to be a part of that revolution. It already is, and we're part of that right now with LifeVantage's product Nerf2 activation, Protandim. And we do have some other products that are also signaling different pathways, and the research on those is being done now and will be published. But this is part of this wellness revolution that's going to be huge. And there's no other company that has the data to prove that what we have is part of this whole movement that's changing, where we're looking at gene expression and changing the body, but we're using natural solutions as opposed to drugs, which you can find if you look at Google's biggest investment called Calico. It's developing drugs that change gene expression. If that doesn't give you enough information to say this is an interesting idea, then I don't know what we can tell you. Foods and dietary components, they change the DNA. Everything moment to moment you put in your mouth. Drink a Diet Coke, just read an article yesterday, just tears this lining of your stomach. It's the worst thing you could do. Start in cancer, artificial sweeteners, all that kind of stuff changes your gene expression. So whatever you're putting in your body, only 2% of your DNA is actually coded. The rest of it's not. So you can decide day to day what you put in your body. And, you know, with the holidays coming up, you know, it's kind of free reign. But I'm telling you guys, we are in charge of our health. And biohacking is absolutely the future, and it's happening right now. We're looking at our biology. We're changing our biology moment to moment with what we put into our body. And we are putting into our body the most amazing products right now with LifeVantage. And the main one is called Protandim Nerf2 activation. Nerf2 is a transcriptional protein that's inside of every cell in your body. And it's activated by certain things. Like if you're an athlete and you go to the gym, you activate Nerf2. If you eat lots of broccoli, you activate Nerf2. If you take a Protandim, you activate Nerf2 more than anything so far that we've been able to find out there in research from putting something into your mouth. Different than exercising, but it's not different than eating broccoli because it's a food. It's a plant-based supplement. Turns on Nerf2, and Nerf2 activates inside every cell in your body's expression of its own antioxidants. And that is why we have global patents. We have patents in China, Australia, the United States. We have studies from major universities that say that Protandim reduces the root cause of aging in the cell death, which is from oxidation, just from breathing in air. It reduces something called oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. And that is the most important marker to reduce. And the reason that doctors are not saying you need to reduce your oxidative stress is because they didn't have a way to do it. They didn't know about something like this, nutrigenomics. They didn't have the information. And now they're starting to get this information from all of us out there being foot soldiers for this throughout the world. You know, we used to be in 10,000 pharmacies around the United States. You know, that was the old model, and the company saw that coming, so they switched gears to be able to educate people on oxidative stress, because most people don't know anything about it, and doctors don't talk about it at all, and they don't talk about Nerf2. So Nerf2 this is a new category, guys, and it's still very rare, unknown. Most people don't know anything about it. Even scientists and the people at this medical conference that I went to, you know, maybe 10% of them understood what Nerf2 was. Like, wow, okay, you're like the most powerful Nerf2 activator on the market. There's a few other companies developing these products. There are some online. You'll see some products out there, Nerf2 activation, look them up. If they're doing $500,000 a year, I'd be surprised. We're doing 200 million, and 70% of that is from our little yellow pill. And the reason for that is because because it changes gene expression. It protects the DNA from all of this, all the toxins in our society that are absolutely ravaging our cells because of all the chemicals and in the air, in the water, in the ground, everywhere we look. And all of this stuff too is radiating us to death. So you guys, we really have to do something more if we care about ourselves and our humanity, and also our families, including our children. So these are the categories that we're in. It's the relevance to LifeVantage is huge. There are different categories that we're getting into that are important to be able to move products through networks. One of them is in weight management. We have an incredible line. We actually have a contest going on right now that just started. You have until January 8th. You can win $5,000 and a trip for 2 to the Bahamas. So if you're interested in hearing about that, taking some of our weight management products that have double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to show that they reduce visceral fat in humans. I mean, there's no other product that we could be $1 billion company just on that one fat burn product, but we have, we've got to get this information out to people. We have skincare, we have Nerve 2 activation for our largest organ, and then we have our executive functioning product called Axia, which increases neuron activity and makes you just think more clearly. So how do you recognize a business opportunity? I think I just went through timing and trends. Hopefully you guys are seeing there's some validation here that an exponential growth business is absolutely the way to go as opposed to linear. And our company LifeVantage, you guys can look it up. It trades on the NASDAQ. I think it was down a little bit yesterday. One of the statistics that you guys really need to understand if you did buy some stock, and I know a lot of people that join as distributors buy a little bit of stock, buy a lot of stock, is that when this company is $1 billion company, the stock will be $100 stock. Right now it's trading just under $5. So when you think about that, business opportunity, exponential growth, nutrigenomics, genetics, networks of distributors only in 10 countries. I wonder if there's an opportunity here to be part of a $1 billion company, just in terms of your own business, but also as an investor in the company, not making any stock, recommendations, and nothing that I'm saying is intended to treat, cure, heal, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. So just, you guys do your own research, pubmed.gov, look up Yahoo Finance and look up LFVN and just have a field day. The system, we're seeing that right now. We're using technology to grow our businesses. We're using social media. We are using our smartphones. We're using our computers to connect to the world, to give them this information. And then we get to get paid that way through Hyperwallet, which is a electronic payment system, which is completely encrypted so no one can steal your money. But your commissions come in on the 15th of every month, and they go up every month if you grow your business properly. And it's not based on your efforts. I've enrolled 66 people personally, and I did $12 million last year in this. So you don't have to know a lot of people to do this. The culture of LifeVantage is about lifelong learning. It's about sharing information and being part of this wellness revolution. That's who we are. That's who you're hanging out with. People that want to be a part of a different way that gives you more time freedom to be able to be in Utah and ski, in the afternoon and work in the morning, and, just be a business owner in the 21st century. And then the compensation plan, which is just incredible, which is something that I probably don't have enough time to talk about, but I'm going to be doing a series of these for the next, through the holidays every day. I'm going to be doing something on different aspects of our business. So we do have 26 peer-reviewed published studies on Protandim. 23 of them are at the National Institute of Health, pubmed.gov, which you see here on the screen. We were sold through pharmacies initially in our business model. That was what you did when you rolled out a supplement. That was not an effective marketing strategy. And as you just saw, a lot of these vitamin stores are closing down. They're switching to online. I will say that there's a lot of online product out there, and I always encourage people, make sure you buy whatever you're buying to put in your body and in your family's bodies from the company that makes it, not from a wholesaler, not through a third party, because third parties leave product in their garage in Tucson, Arizona at 120 degrees in the summer, and you don't know if that product's good or not. Our products are plant-based, they're raw, and they do have a 3-year shelf life, but I'm just encouraging anyone who buys any supplements online or any foods to buy it directly from the manufacturer of particularly supplements, not so much food, because there's a lot of stores like Whole Foods that are online now through Amazon. Totally safe to buy stuff that way. And then, we've had a lot of recognition from news stations, and I think we're going to probably be getting a little bit more recognition, more from scientifically based news organizations. You're going to be seeing a little bit of that in the future. And then we also have a branding strategy where we decided to partner with Real Salt Lake, which is a Major League Soccer team. It's one of the top teams in the league. We have our name LifeVantage on the jersey front of their shirts, and that's big as we go global. You guys know soccer is the fastest growing sport in the world. We're also on the FIFA box, which is kind of cool. So we're getting some recognition that way. We're also getting recognition on pubmed.gov. There are 170,000 and change of oxidative stress articles. There's like 9,000 of articles on Nerve 2. That's growing really fast. And then of course, 23 of ours are on this pubmed.gov. And that is where you guys want to do some research. We also have an incredible leadership team that's been with us for about 2 years. Because we're publicly traded, we get to hire our CEO instead of having somebody there that owns the company, that if they're not doing a great job, we can't change that. We can here because we have a board of directors that protects the company and the shareholders. So we do have 2 lifelong people from direct sales from the top companies in the world running our company. These guys have been involved in taking companies to $1 billion. That's their job. That's what they know how to do, is global expansion. So you will see LifeVantage in many, many, many more countries in the next 12 to 24 months. And we can capitalize on that. So we're still at the bottom of the S curve, the Peter Drucker S curve. We're at the bottom of that. We're still down just a little past formulation, pioneering. We're still pioneering when there's only 10% of 3,500 doctors that are the most innovative doctors in the world getting educated on anti-aging science, and only 10% of them know about Nerve2 activation, and less have even heard of Protandim. That tells you we're still formulating this. We're still in that place. So until we get to where there's, I don't know how many doctors know about this, but 5% of the population is the tipping point to where you get to this Malcolm Gladwell's data of the tipping point, where you start to go into what's called momentum. And we still only have about, I'm not sure what the number is, maybe 70,000 distributors worldwide, and 135,000 or less that joins a company. You're at the beginning of the company still. And we're a stable company. We're very low debt. We're not going to go out of business. A lot of these new companies that people jump on board, I mean, we're attracting a lot of professionals from direct sales right now. We're 8 years into our business model. The first part of our life, we were in stores. The second part, which is 8 years now, we're direct to consumer through a network of distributors. And we still don't have enough distributors. So we're still at the beginning of this, you guys. You can attract anybody to come into this. So we're, again, all natural. I don't want to go through all these, but these are individual components that have been researched to the hilt just on the benefits of each of these ingredients. They've been used for thousands of years in other cultures. But the combination of these together is what makes this so powerful. This is what the difference is between Protandim and these individual ingredients. The synergy makes it 18 times more powerful at reducing oxidative stress. So that's what we want to focus on, is this quantum biology, this exponential biology within the cell, where you're now going to neutralize 1 million free radicals per second every second, versus 1-to-1, like a vitamin that everyone's taking. 74% of the population takes a vitamin every day. Do you think we have a market? 74%. That's in the United States. Other countries, very high too, especially countries that have, have more income that they can spend. So 1 million per second every second. That's the exponential part of our product. And then we have the exponential part of our money that we get to make as well. And I want to show you guys that really quickly. So what we have is this chart right here. I'm going to show you this first. This is an earnings claim statement. This shows what the average earnings of distributors have been. These were last year. This was from our fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017. And it showed the average monthly earnings of distributors in our company. This has to be released by the company because of our publicly traded status. Most direct sales companies don't release the earnings of their distributors, just so you know. So if you go to try to find out what other companies people are making, these are not audited financials from a company when you're seeing those. That's what you're looking at, audited financials here. These are real numbers. So if you just look at the monthly averages, just look at this column here, and you just work your way up. Distributors, you start out, you're just kind of hanging in there, you're getting started, you have less than 1,000 in volume. And remember, your volume is what you're using yourself. You're a user. It's part of your business model. You love the products and you use them, so you're spending money every month. And you're also getting customers that are spending money every month. And you have distributors under you that their volume counts toward you too. So 1,000, there was 1.7 million paid out to everyone that was a distributor total. Just divide it out, which is $13 a piece. And then you work your way up to Pro 1. It's 1,000 a month and up, between 1,000 and 2,500. And you see that 3.4 million was paid out to all Pro 1s in totality, and divided between all of them at about $80 on average a month. And then you just start working your way up. Pro 4 is 10,000, Pro 5 is 20,000. You see 20,000 is about 2,500. I have a lot of Pro 5s in my business. I don't know how many, but it's a lot. Probably, I don't know, maybe 40. And that's $2,500 a month. That's nice. That changes. That could be a extra money for retirement, you're putting it away and you're growing that. You're just letting it sit in your hyper wallet account. You're doing it whatever you want with it, but that's starting to change people's lives. Pro 6 is 50,000 and up. Again, you're seeing about 10% if you just think of it that way. Pro 7's 100,000. This is when you start participating in the global pools of the company. This is when you're getting paid not on just your group, but the whole world. That's only in 10 countries right now. So just think about that. That's, again, 100,000, about a little more than 10%. Now, I made it to the rank of Elite Pro 9 in about 3.5 years. And this is the average. 42,000 is the average, between 16,000 and 42,000. This is 500,000 a month up to $1 million. And then you get up to $1 million a month. You're getting at you're seeing some significant numbers here, but these are small compared to what they're going to be as we get to a company that gets to $1 billion. So everybody has an opportunity to participate in this. And I just want to show you guys exponential growth, not just what you do, but what you and all of your people that you talk to can do and duplicate in a business. This is like being in the owner of Uber. Okay. That's what I see this as. So you come into the company and you're one person, and then you agree that every month you're going to find one person that's going to join you in LifeVantage. That's all you're going to do. You're going to do it for a year. Your goal is not to go around selling little yellow pills for the first month. You're going to get customers, but your goal is to find one new person that wants to join you in this exponential growth business and use our products. And you're both going to agree when you start to do 500 of personal volume. Personal volume is what you buy and what your customers buy. It's not counting your distributors underneath you. Each person just says, all I have to do is find one new person and have $500 in volume every month. That's it. And that's my goal. And I'm going to do it every single month. And we're going to add a person each month. Each of us is. There's your exponential, just like that chart I showed you, where it went around the globe 27 times instead of only 30 meters. Do you guys get this? Here's what's happening. 2,048 people had agreed to do 500, to go get some customers, get 5 customers that spend, $100 each, and then that stay on auto ship. You don't have to get new ones. They just buy it and they stay on. That's 5 people. And then you have to spend $40 yourself personally to be able to qualify, to get paid. You do want to consider 200 of personal volume. This is how, when we duplicate that way, and everyone does that, not everyone's going to do 500, but if you do 200 each, your business is it's going to blow your mind. So that's how we're duplicating in our business. This is a tax deductible. It's your business. When you look at, what it costs you to run a business, not very much. But this shows you $1 million in volume. In a year, if everybody just duplicated that, and you will be earning $1 million a year if you do that. People are going to do this, guys. People are interested in this. So I wanted to show this to you. This is not typical. This doesn't represent a typical LifeVantage distributor trajectory, but it is one that other companies have seen people do. So why can't we do this too? We will be doing this once more people know about Nerve 2 activation. So I'm just going to show you how much what the entry fee is to get into the company. I'm not going to go through the compensation. I'm going to do that the next time. But basically, you have 3 options. If you're serious about our business, you're going to come in with a platinum pack. You're going to duplicate that because you get 1,000 points of volume in your own business when you start. You remember that distributor chart I showed you? You want to have volume to grow your business quickly. Everybody can join with a platinum pack. It also gives you 2 tickets to the next event, one of our corporate events, and those tickets are usually a couple $100s a piece. So it's definitely the best value, but not everyone can afford that. Gold pack, $650, silver, $350. Comes with the exact amount of product that you're spending, you're using for your family. You're helping it build your business, and then you're having your 200, your minimum. That's what we want in our team to duplicate. Again, like I said, 40 of that has to personally come from you, and then 160 of that can come from other customers. You do have to have 200 of personal volume to be able to get the most compensation at the company. That $500, that was just supercharging your business and making it grow faster. So I just wanted to show you guys that, and I wanted you to understand the power of the exponential, the mathematics of that, because this is what is going to change the way that people can do business in the future, is looking at that exponential growth. It can change thousands of people's lives. And also from a health perspective, getting them the information on NERF2 activation, NERF1 activation. We have other stuff. I didn't even have time to talk to you guys about that. There'll be a series of things going on here with product, compensation, and then again, talking about business timing. So I want to thank you guys. It's 9:08. I went 8 minutes over. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me today. I hope I've been able to give you at least my vision of why I joined LifeVantage, why I'm working in Park City, Utah, why I'm going skiing this afternoon with my phone in case somebody calls me for a 3-way call. All right, so I'm gonna sign off here. Thank you guys so much. I'm really